Hello everyone, welcome back to the BIO202 course. Now we're continuing the second and the last section of the second chapter, which talks about protostomes. So previously discussed the Lophotrochozoans, and we reached the fourth phylum, okay, in Lophotrochozoans. This phylum is known as the ribbonworms or Nermatia. There are more than 2,400 species in this phylum that can range from cylindrical to flattened shape, okay, and they are all longworms. Few of these species live in freshwater and terrestrial habitats, but the majority live in marine, okay, habitats. The longest animal so far is the Linnaeus longissimus that has a length of 60 meters. And it has the body plan of a flatworm, has a complete cut, and is rhinococele, which means it has a coelomic cavity that is filled with a fluid. The fifth phylum is the phylum Annelida, and the famous, or most commonly known as annelids. Annelids, they have a trochophore larvae. They are segmented worms. They are coelomates. They have a body built of repeated units, which allows to specialization and cannot be monophyletic. Body plan, they have a well-developed cerebral ganglion in the head. They have also a ring-like sensory organs that are responsible for sensing everything in the environment. Some of the species have eyes. They have what's known as a septa, and the septa is what separates the segment of the annelids, segments of different segments. They have a locomotory structure, and as I said, a ganglion, and a pair of excretory organs that are present in each segment. They have a closed circulatory system, okay, but it's not segmented. So the circulatory system is the same, okay, or one circulatory system for the whole annelids, whereas it can have more than one heart, for example, more than one accessory organs, sensory organs. Okay, so they are all segmented. And when we say segmented, the organs are segmented or the system is segmented. It means that it has a repeated number of these systems in each segment. Okay, whereas the circulatory system is one for the whole annulus. Okay, so in the whole segments we have only one circulatory system, and it has what's known as the ventral nerve cord. It has also what's known as setae, which is bristles of chitin that are vital for movement and stop the animal from sliding backward. They are like extensions, like legs of the worm, that are made of chitin, which is actually a strong material, as I said before. And this chitin helps it to just stand on land and a little, like move a little bit and prevent it from sliding backward. The sixth phylum is the phylum containing Bryozoa and Brachiopoda phyla. Okay, so the majority of these phyla are marine animals, and they are both featured by having a lophophore larva and a circular or U-shaped ridge surrounding the mouth with 1 to 2 rows of ciliated tentacles, as you can see here. Okay, so they have this U-shaped structure, and they have 1 to 2 rows of ciliated tentacles surrounding the mouth, and as other ciliated tentacles, they aid in transporting gases and materials for feeding to the body, and it could be part of a conversion development. So the phylum Bryozoa, okay, as you said, as you can see here, the ciliated tentacles and then that surrounds the mouth and aids in the oxygen transport. So phylum Bryozoa, also known as moss animals, okay, and they live in colonies, as you can see here. It's a colony of Bryozoa. Their anus opens near their mouth. Individuals produce also a tiny chitinous chamber named as zysium, which is attached to the substrate and thus could deposit CO2s. As you can see here, they all deposit this tiny chitinous chamber, okay, which is called zysium, that somehow links all of them together. And they mainly reproduce asexually, okay, by budding. And we know all what's budding, so it's just forming a part, okay, developing and multiplying a part of its body that's going to now, after that, detach, after it's large in size, is going to detach from the body and then is going to settle itself in the colony to just become a mature bryozoa. Brachiopoda, on the other hand, they have lamp shells. Okay, they have actually two calcified shells: the dorsal shell and the ventral shell. Okay, and the liphophore, okay, is located in the body between the shells, as you can see in this picture. Some species have a pedicle and some don't have. So we're done from the Lophotrochozoans, the phylums of the Lophotrochozoans. If we need to just make a summary about them, we have the first phylum is, sorry for that, the first phylum is the phylum Platinhelminths, that most commonly known as flatworms. Then we have the phylum Rotifera, or the wheel beaters. Then we have the phylum Mollusca. Then we have the phylum Nermatia, or ribbonworms. Then we have the phylum Annelida, or what's known as annelids. And then finally, we have the Bryozoa and the Brachiopoda phyla. These are for Lophotrochozoans. Now, Ecdysozoans. Now, Ecdysozoans, as we said, they are they go into two phylums, Nematoda and Arthropoda. So the Nematoda, or what's known as the round worms, they are abundant and diverse, marine fresh water. They could have a marine habitat, a freshwater habitat. They could be also as a parasite, and they could be also free living. Some examples of roundworms are vinegar eels, eelworms, and others. They are pseudocoelomates. They are unsegmented and they have a bilateral symmetry, as you can see here. They are covered by a thick and flexible cuticle that molds as they grow. They have a well-developed digestive system that constitute of stylids that penetrate organs close to the mouth. They have the pharynx that also create a sucking action, and they have the anus for excretion. The second part is in the nematode species. Actually, nematode species cause approximately 50 human diseases, so they are pretty harmful. We have the hookworms that are common in southern US, and they cause anemia. And we have the trichinella, which is a type of worms that lead to trichinosis. And trichinosis is the presence of cysts in muscles. What are cysts? Cysts are just, it's a sac, okay, in our muscle tissue that contains a nematode, a roundworm, okay. It's caused by infection from eating. It's caused by infection from eating and from eating undercooked meat. Why is that? Because Trichinella usually inhabits a small intestine of some mammals, deers, and pigs, and we consume these animals. So if we're not cooking these animals well, then the Trichinella, okay, or the worm is not going to be dead, and then it's going to lead to the fertilized female is going to lead to throw its children or the young into the intestinal wall. That's going to travel through the lymph channels into the muscles, and they're going to stay there, mature, and cause harm. And what's actually significant is that they are resistant, okay, calcified cysts, so it's hard even to treat them. The second phylum, as you said, they are the phylum Arthropoda. And Arthropoda is the most successful animals. They are so diverse. We have over 1.2 million species of arthropods, and this consists more than 2/3 of all named species. They affect all aspects of human lives and are divided into 4 classes: Calcirata, Crustacea, Hexapoda, and Myriapoda. Okay. Now, there are 3 reasons, okay, for the success of arthropods and for their vast majority and for their high presence in our work. These 3 aspects are segmentation, the presence of an exoskeleton, and the presence of jointed appendages. So segmentation, where multiple body segments, as we know before, are similar in some species. In other species, we have multiple body segments, but each of them are specialized into its normal function. Like for example, the head, the thorax, and the abdomen, they are all different segments that have their own function. The head and thorax in some arthropods can be fused together, just form the cephalothorax. The second aspect, as we said, is exoskeleton, where arthropods have an exoskeleton made of chitin and protein, and this exoskeleton helps prevents water loss. Like for example, us as humans, we have so much water loss as a sweat, for example. The presence of chitin prevents this water loss, and as we said, they must undergo ecdysis molting. They must get rid of this exoskeleton and replace it with a bigger one. And the third aspect is having jointed appendages, and the ability of having jointed appendages is or gives the arthropods the ability to just move in a much better way, in a more efficient and faster way, so they can extend or retract. They can move their wing in a very fast way. It allows them to fly, mouth for watering, antenna for detecting sound, danger, detecting food. Okay, so these are the three aspects, and by that we conclude this chapter. In this chapter, as I said, we've tackled protostomes. We've talked about the two categories, the Photrochozoans and their phyla, and the ecdysozoans and their two phyla. Hope you find this chapter as interesting and informational as possible. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. Bye.